What's going on, guys? The real Napoleon here. I've got a fun little clip for you guys. I've been grinding through the M103, as you can see here. It's not spaded yet, but stock grind's really not that bad. It's a fun, I was gonna say fun little tank. It's not little. It's gigantic actually, but it's a fun American heavy tank that falls into the higher end of the American tech tree. So as you can see here, it's 7.7. You're going up against heavy hitters, Tiger 2s, of course, Yag Tigers, IS6, all the big boys. But at this point in the American tech tree, you actually have the weaponry to really go slug to slug with them. 128 millimeter 58 M58 cannon. You have 250s and a 7.62 for airplanes and lighter tanks, RU-251s and whatever milk trucks decide to pass by you. I don't have a ton of time into this tank, but one thing I do have to say is I kind of plays like a glass cannon for me. So I'm not one to sit back and snipe. And once you get up to this BR, you're really into longer range matches. But I like to press the advance, and you kind of have to be careful with this tank. If we take a look over here at the armor, it's got decent armor, 254 millimeters of thickness, depending on how it's angled. But if you go head on 300 millimeters, it'll get pierced. Your lower glacis is a weak point. This is definitely going to get sliced up by most of the Russian and German artillery that's out there. Your upper is not that bad, actually, but still, it's something you want to protect. If you can put it at an angle, you definitely get a little bit of an advantage there. But the thing you have to really worry about is your side armor is just paper thin. Which, if you've seen my T-32 gameplay, it's kind of a common theme with American tanks. They kind of armor up the front, and then the sides and the rear tend to be really weak points that you want to protect. So this is a tank for sure that you want to protect the humongous turret and the sides. If you can go hold down or just angle it, you'll be doing good, bouncing some shots. If you look up here in the front of the turret, it doesn't have much of a cheek to really get into. And if people are shooting in this area, depending on the angle that they hit, it's going to hit your cannon breech, which is huge, but not much else. That being said, it is a 5-man crew up in here, and they're pretty decently spread out. I would say you can tank some hole shots pretty nicely if they don't hit your ammo. Right here is not bad, but your driver is going to eat a ton of damage, and you're going to be left immobile. And also, one other thing to notice is the tracks are super exposed. So, in the couple of days I've been playing this, I've been getting tracked a lot, and it's just not fun, especially when you're busting down the stock grind and you don't have repairs. So you can see right here, I've got a few things unlocked. Usually I go straight for parts. It just sucks to be knocked out on the field and have to go to a cap point to repair. These start out at 18,000 for each one of these, so it is a big number, especially once you're starting to jump up there. But oddly enough, it's really fun to play this tank. The parts, especially if you're using boosters, get researched really quickly. FPE is the second one because this tank catches on fire like every 10 seconds if they're shooting you, especially in the back of the engine bay and whatnot. And now you can see I've done tracks and I'm going for a horizontal drive to increase the slewing rate, which I'll be honest, it doesn't feel bad stock. The turret points to targets pretty quickly. It doesn't feel slow. The horsepower to ton ratio is pretty good. So even being a huge 57-ton tank, this thing feels good to drive. It doesn't feel sluggish or immobile like the T-34 does. But that being said, you're a gigantic, big American target on the battlefield. Luckily, people run from the M103. most times they see it. So without further ado, let's get into some gameplay. I was over on Berlin, and I had a pretty good game. Not an ace, but I had some good action, 2 captures and 3 kills. And it was overall it was just a fun game. Especially considering I just kind of lost track of what I was doing and ended up in spots I don't normally go into. But we'll get into that. Let me pull up this gameplay and we'll see what we got. All right. All right, guys. So here we are spawning into Berlin. It's one of my favorite maps actually. Nice tight gameplay. It's got a bunch of different routes you can take to get into the action. But overall, I think it's just got a good balance of cover and the ability to kind of brute force your way around the map. Now, that being said, this M103, like I was saying, it's pretty mobile tank. It's not super fast, but you can see I'm getting up and over these craters and whatnot. Usually, what I would do is hook a left right now, just past these husks of the tigers, and go into the ditch. I don't know what was going on in this match. I just wasn't paying attention. I was pretty tired, to be honest with you, so I just was doing my thing. And I decided to follow this Type 61 right up behind, right up behind him. Not even realizing I'm going into A. It was right about now that I realized, oh, I missed where I wanted to go. But I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I got some backup. I'll push it up here. I usually don't because I usually get sniped from across the map. As you can see, I'm kind of trying to keep an eye out here, and then as I'm looking out for things, I kind of start to see some movement. I lob a shot at him, and it's some little Russian tank destroyer, like go-kart with a gun. And honestly, if I was like an inch left or waited a little bit, I would have hole broke him. But you don't get every single one. So at this point, I'm deciding, do I move up to A? I'll take my time. I really don't want to get shot in the side, but I start to hear gunshots to my right, and I start to see gunfire. I'm like, all right, cool. There's some action going on over here, so let's go check this out. Let me see what's going on here. So I'm looking at A. I'm looking at the mini map. I see there's 2 dudes over here by A. Figure, you know what? They'll capture. Maybe. What do I got going on over here? Like, you know what? No, they'll capture. So I look over here, I see some smoke and see some artillery and gunfire, and like where do I go at this point? Am I gonna hook a left? Nope. IS-6. So I lob a shot at him. I try to just get one shot in, hopefully get his engine, and that's no dice. So I speed it up right here. We're kind of dancing around a little bit. I was gonna make the left. I'm like, you know what? I can't leave that IS-6 alone. I did get an enemy kill assist. It was that tank destroyer. And I see this Type 61 come and bypass me. So at this point, I'm like, where is he? Type 61 has no clue. He's just making loops. I'm like, I have a good feeling he's straight ahead. This dude didn't leave this area. And I see him right there through that little window, but I can't get a shot. So I take my time. Hopefully that gun barrel's not pointing at me, right? And as I sneak up, I notice, nope, he's looking straight across into our, not spawn area, but he's right up there. And deleted. A nice little headshot will take him out of here. So at this point, I'm kind of in that rubble area just past our spawn. I want to get back into the action, so I hook a U-turn. I'm going to use the buildings as cover. And at this moment, I'm just thinking, let me get up behind the Reichstag and maybe I can lob some sniper fire over at these guys, or something like that. Just keep myself in cover, because like I said, this thing's kind of a glass cannon, especially the way I play it. So I pull up and I see this guy over here. He's fighting with somebody. So I try to get a shot in, see what I can see. So at this point, I'm pulling up, inching out, and this is kind of the enemy spawn bridge area. Tends to be a little bit dangerous. I'm kind of dipping here, and I'm like, what's going on? So now I'm trying to use a third-person view to make sure I just don't get punched in the face as I come around this building. And lo and behold, push up a little bit. actually bounce a shot. Like I was saying, the front of that turret is pretty strong, decently strong. To be honest, I had no clue who shot me. At this point, I'm kind of looking around, trying to see what's what. I don't see anything, but my teammate's over here on my right side. He's doing his thing, so I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm not gonna press my luck. So I try to maneuver around the building a little bit more, try to get a little more advantageous spot. So at this point, I'm kind of keeping an eye out for planes. I'm just looking around. Typically in that C point, the enemy can snipe across at you anyways, right? So now I'm just kind of having some conversation with the guy that I just left behind, see where he's at. And I see an enemy hit marker here in the B point. So I think to myself, well, am I going to risk it? If I push out, I'm probably going to get shot in the side, right? But I look and I poke out a little bit, and right now I don't see anything, you know? So at this point I'm kind of getting bored, you know, I don't like playing passively. So I look, I don't see anything. Granted, I tend to be pretty blind in this area of the map anyways. There's just so much crap everywhere and hulls of tanks that are just props that I never see anybody anyways. So figure, whatever, I'm just gonna push up. I'll just dive right into the B point, quote unquote safely, and let's see if we can't surprise somebody. I have a lot of confidence in the 120 that's on this gun, or on this tank. But at this point, I don't see anybody. I see this thing, so I figure, oh, is it a tank? Nope. Props. Told you I was blind. But at this point, I'm just gonna push up. I don't see a tank behind us. They've capped this point, so I figured let me uncap. At least start the tickets in our favor, right? So I push up, and I'm kind of in a decent spot. I'm pretty protected being in the riverbed, except for straight ahead. Right by that bridge, they tend to have a good peeking spot. So I'm gonna start the decap. I'm gonna start the decap, and then I notice that we have the C point, and then B decaps super fast. And at this point, I think that I'm pretty safe. So I figured, check the map. Yeah, we're doing really good. We've wiped out most of the enemy team. Check my points, and now I'm gonna cap. I want the extra silver lions. I want the extra RP. So I park it up, and at this point I was so intently focused on the front to not get shot that I didn't notice my teammate coming up from behind me, which in hindsight I feel bad for, but guess who's coming to join us? Just as I cap. This bad man.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
The Nightmare. Churchill AVRE. Which, that tank looks like a nightmare. It's all kinds of... I like customizing my tanks, but man, he's got a lot going on there. But hey, to each his own. He likes it, so that's cool. So at this point I see hit markers right where I was keeping an eye on, but I figured the Churchill's got this. Let me move up and see what's going on with C. Our teammates that were at C got taken out, so now I'm kind of just going into no man's land. Honestly, I never ever go in this area. This is like instant death. Everybody can see you. There's no cover. I see some hit markers, and what is this? Oh, I shoot right into the debris. That sucks. But I'm feeling super confident right now. I'm leaving my side exposed. I don't care. At this point, I know there's not many enemy tanks on the field, so let's line it up. And can we get the kill? Pa! Right in the kisser. So we knock out the AMX. And I just start to push up. Figure, you know, I'll just go up into C. So I'm looking around. There's not a whole lot going on right now. And then I notice our buddy over by the A point die. So I figure probably should keep an eye on that because I don't want to get shot in the butt. But I look around, I don't see anything. He's not really making any moves, so like, whatever. Let's go for the C point. And then I see some gun debris or some backblast from a gunshot. So I figure, let's go get a kill. I'm hungry. I only had, you know, 2 kills so far, or 1 kill, however many I have at this point. 2 kills. And push up, and what do we got here? A Taiga 2. So I get a nice hit right there in his turret ring. Take out his gunner, his loader, his commander. He's dead in the water. And guess what? That bomb drops and gives me the kill. That's nice. So at this point, there's not much enemy resistance left on the map. So push up, see if I can't get that extra cap. I noticed that we're starting to decap. So now using the extra mobility built into my tank. Mind you, this is without having the engine or transmission research, so it's only going to get better from here. And that was pretty much it, you know. I just roll up into the cap with this M56, and that's GG. That's the end of the game. Like I said, it was super fun. I had a lot of fun playing, and it was cool because I got to roll around. I didn't really have any stress. This is really one of those mindless gameplays where I didn't have to think about it too much. But it worked out great for me. I had fun, and that's all that matters, right? So, nevertheless, the M103, is it worth the grind? I think so. You know, the T32 is fun. You guys should definitely check out my video. It'll be linked. And this is a good tank to run through. I haven't spaded it yet because the last few modifications, these are like 15,000, 19,000, and then these two or whatever. I don't really use Hypershot too much, but the tank is super fun. It's a definite brawler. The T34, in my opinion, sucks. I don't like it. It's not fun at all. It's got a heavy hitting cannon, but reload rate is like 20 seconds, and it feels like ages, especially coming from the T26, which has a 16-second reload rate. You know, that T34 is just, it feels slow. It reloads slow. I don't like it, but tanks out there for everybody, right? Well, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, if you liked the video, like it. If you didn't like the video, dislike it. I'm gonna try to keep the content coming a little more regularly. I've been super lazy, to be honest with you, for the past week and a half, 2 weeks. I've been doing a lot of streaming on Twitch, so I'm trying to figure out a schedule where I can stream and record videos. I want to keep the content separate on each one, so definitely check out my Twitch as well. You see a little different gameplay, not cut, no edits, you know, that kind of thing. And then the edited stuff will be over here on YouTube. Also, you know, check out my my Twitter. I'll try to keep up with that. I'm more of a Twitter reader than a user, but you know, bad habits you got to break. So yeah, thanks again, guys, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.